Well, we waved goodbye to Kieran Tierney and we waved goodbye to Jorginho, but you know, we almost waved goodbye to the Premier League season, but we haven't yet. So
we said hello again. Just a second.
And that, oh God, why? I was trying to, like, you know, in a happy mood. You didn't have to bring it down like that, though. You didn't have to bring it down like that. But it's cool. It's cool. Reality is reality, so it is what it is. But yeah, you know, as I said, we waved goodbye almost to the season, but you know, we've said goodbye to some players from you know, during the last home match. Some good players, I would say. Kieran Tierney, he was a soldier for us. Jorginho, he did a job when he needed to do. I know that face, and the face that you're pulling right now is the face that every Arsenal fan is pulling right now. So you're not the only one, not the only one. But you know, Stevie, how you doing? Hope you're well.
Good. You know. Yeah, I'm very good. I'm very good now. No, yeah, absolutely. It was a bit tricky at first, but I'm a lot happier now. We've kind of secured second. I know it's mathematically still possible that we'll finish third, but we've managed to stay in the top three, haven't we? As positive as I can sound.
I mean, the thing is, they've got 2 matches that they haven't played yet, and anything can happen. Like, even a draw, it just, you know, puts a whole damper in the whole thing. Or do they need to lose? Is it Man City, do they need to lose?
They need to win both by 5 goals or more.
Yeah, but I don't care about them winning. Like, do they need... I care about what happens to us if they lose. Do we...
Oh, no. If they draw or lose, that's it. We're guaranteed second.
Okay, that's good. I mean, top 3, like you said, I'm happy with that. I will take that all day, every day. Well, you know, obviously I'd rather win, but hey ho, here we are. So
hey ho.
I tried to bring it into a good mood type of podcast, but you know, it's sometimes.
No, there's lots of positives. There's lots of positives, and we'll switch on to them shortly. But what you said about, we said goodbye to certain players. Some we were happy to see, obviously go, and some we're not. I think obviously Kieran Tierney was one player that I think the majority of Arsenal fans wanted to keep. just as backup, isn't it? Really, I think he, you know, heart and soul kind of player. He's not the greatest of players, but like Kivio isn't the greatest of player, but you know, he's kind of proved his worth, hasn't he?
Look. We're gonna get to Kivio, right? But yeah, look, don't be talking shit. No. Jakob, man. He had an excellent game. But anyway,
yes.
But you're right. Kieran Tierney, he got a massive cheer from the crowd, which obviously, you know, we all expected. But yeah, he was a player that could definitely do a job, but maybe he wasn't satisfied with that.
Did Emery bring him in? It was Emery.
Yes.
Or was it Arteta's first couple?
No, I think it was Emery that brought him in, that brought Tierney in, I believe.
He's played, like, is it 142 games or 162? It's well up there, isn't it? Quite a lot of games. Say,
it's well over the 100 games for sure. I mean, and the games that he didn't play were...
he's been injured for quite a lot, hasn't he? Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you know, it wasn't because he wasn't a good player. It was just injury prone, and obviously through injury he's missed a lot of games, not a few. But you know, like you said, it would have been nice to keep him. He definitely would, you know, still do a job for us as he has shown before. But there you go. You know, it happened. Hopefully he does well, and good send off, I think. So I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I think on Tierney, I think what we were talking about before, obviously his injuries. Didn't they buy like Tavares to cover for him? And Tavares was he was a flop, wasn't he, initially? Yeah, and then you know, he went out on loan to, was it Lazio? Lazio, Roma or something? Yeah. And then become like world beaters.
Yeah, standard.
And we won't go there with Bira.
It's no, it's, you know, it's usual Arsenal stuff. It's what we're used to, really. So there you go. But yeah, you know, and like you said, Jorginho, not much really needs to be said about Jorginho. There was a couple of matches throughout his Arsenal tenure where he did do a job for us, like filling in. But yeah, he wasn't a player that I would overpay or pay to extend his contract at this point in time. So
what was he, 12 million or something, daft like that? I mean, for 12 million for an was he 12
million? Less than that? I thought it was like 8 or something, wasn't it?
I don't know, look it up on your stats. I thought it was 12, but anyway. I thought, how long has he been here? About 3 years now? Something like that? Is it 3, 2 or 3?
Yeah, 3 years.
Did he come with
3 years.
Trossard? Did he come with Trossard?
Yes, I think it was during that same
January
period. Yeah, that same period in January. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's never inspired me with any confidence. Yeah, against like lower opposition, I thought he kind of did a job, but against the better teams, he was found out more often than not. So, yeah, I'm glad to see the back of him. But yeah, not a bad servant, to be fair. We need better things, seriously, and we will talk about it in the summer.
Of course.
To win things, you need better players.
No, I agree. I just think, like, in the rebuild and the reshape of the whole team. Oh, cheers, yeah, absolutely. I hope you're enjoying your grape juice.
Sunday night grapes.
Yeah, excellent. I actually had some white grape earlier on, so that was nice as well. But obviously enjoy it. It's it's a good end to the weekend in a sense. But we'll get to F1. We'll get to F1.
Yes. Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean those two play, and obviously Kai Havertz coming back as well. I know you haven't been his biggest fan, but it was quite nice to see it. I know I text you saying watch Havertz score here. It would have been just a real slap to your face.
Oh yeah,
a virtual slap would have taken place. But it didn't
Never going to happen.
No, it didn't. And obviously,
there's more chance of getting a red card, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah, I was going to say either that or getting injured again because he went down a couple of times. Where it's like, really, don't put him on. Please don't put him on anymore. That's the end of Havertz for this season. So. But for me, it was nice to see, and he slotted straight back into the striker position. But that also goes into what you said. We need better players in certain positions to win things, and like you said, we've got the whole summer that we will. That's all we will be discussing, rumours and all that stuff. So. Hopefully, we don't actually have anything to discuss because by June 1st, they would have signed everyone, and that's all she wrote. Thank you very much, folks.
Yeah,
we'll see you at the beginning of the season.
So, is there? Obviously, is there a transfer window open for 10 days? Is this right? In the June 1st, a 10-day window.
What do you mean 10-day window?
So
June
1st, you don't know.
So June 1st, I thought it opened till the end of.
No. All right, you better look this up. I might be wrong.
Okay.
But I know it's opening. It's opening for 10 days. I don't know when, and then it's closing again for 3 weeks, and then reopening again for the final 4 weeks, I think. So I think it's all to do with the Club World Championships, that teams, whoever are in it, can potentially sign players. I think that's why, is it Real Madrid have signed Huysen or whatever it's called?
Okay.
So go on, I know you're going to find it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, yes. So from June 1st...
Not that I've told you.
No, I'm going to confirm it. I'm going to confirm it for everyone. So June 1st until 10th of June, that's when the first, obviously, window is. And from 16th of June till the 1st of September, till 7 o'clock.
That's the last.
Till 7 o'clock, till 7 p.m. So that's quite a long time, to be honest. Okay, so a very short period. So it's about a week, isn't it? It's close. So that's fine. That not a problem.
Is that for? Is that for the World Club Championship? That's what people are saying.
Yes.
So who's in that World Club? Is it Real Madrid, Man City, Chelsea? Who else are in it?
Now you're asking questions that, I've never really cared about the Club World Cup.
Well, I know, but if we were in it, we would care, wouldn't we?
But we're not. So.
I know. I'm looking at
my dream.
I'm looking at potential injuries for other teams in the hope that we can gain a slight cylinder advantage. But yeah.
So where are we here? Okay, so I will find it. In the
I'll just talk about talk about like the game kind of thing. Yeah. Did you watch it all?
So first half, I was on and off because I was cooking steak. So.
Oh yeah, right.
Honestly, I was actually cooking steak.
Are you an Arsenal fan? Because this is like 3 or 4 in a row where you've kind of I'm watching the El Clasico. Oh yeah, well I turned it on at half time, and what you said was a bit shite.
I mean, I didn't miss anything in any of those matches, so I will stand by my decision, and I don't think there's anyone out there that will sort of go against it, to be honest, because those matches were just terrible, and what I did watch, because it's not like I never actually tuned in, but from what I did watch, it's like, well, I'm glad that I didn't start this from the beginning, And usually when there's F1, it sort of like overlaps with an Arsenal match. I always just finish F1. It's like, well, because I know what it's going to be about. Obviously, if it's like the final of course, that will always take priority. But from what I've seen, it's like, well, I'm not going to be entertained, and I want to be entertained for the next 45 minutes or whatever it is. So that's why. But yeah, Arsenal fan, wearing the crest, like you said. There you go. That proves it.
Have you seen the highlights? Right? Have you seen the highlights of the first half? Then or not? Or do you want me to quickly run over what happened, or do you want to talk about it? Or?
So with the first half, I did catch the Raya saves. That was like the first thing that I wanted to bring up for the first half, because
can I just say before his saves, right?
Incredible, by the way.
A game of two halves for him, I tell you. He was fucking shite in the first half. Absolute dog shit. Everything that we spoke about, passing out to the wrong people, giving the ball away. He was fucking dog shit, honestly, right? In the second half, he redeemed himself and I think got man of the match. Is that right?
Yeah, he got man of the match, yeah.
Fucking hell. Honestly, we need I'm sorry, but he's shite. He's shite.
For me, man of the match, by the way, was Thomas Partey, I feel. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. He just controlled that midfield very nicely, and
do you know?
He was.
Yeah, it's good. Different observations. I mean, I actually thought it was between Trossard and Kreitzfeld.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can even make a case for Martinelli in there as well. To be honest.
Yeah,
because he had a very.
I thought. What's his face? Who you just mentioned? Fucking hell, Partey.
Yeah.
So wine's got him head already. Partey, I thought he had a really poor first half, giving the ball away, really poor, get caught out of position. Midfield with the fucking. It was like the Watford fucking gap. It was like the part of the Red Sea. The midfield was shite. Rice was nowhere. Odegaard was just Odegaard's usual shite. But the midfield, we got completely overrun in the first half. It was fucking like Liverpool game of two halves. But Partey came into it in the second half, yeah. But Kreitzfeld was on a par with man of the match, I think, with potentially Martinelli and Trossard. But first half, wow, fuck me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, obviously for me, it's from what I saw, and I feel like he controlled the midfield quite nicely. But there was obviously bits of the first half that I didn't watch, and conveniently, it's the bits that you see.
Seriously,
no, of course. I understand because again, the first half had the aura of us honestly getting beat. It really did.
100%.
It was just heavy in the air, and it's right, I don't really want to live through this. That's why I was right, this is the moment I'm going to choose to make my mistake, right?
Did you, right? You did the right thing, honest, really.
Because I was kind of half expecting what we've already been doing in the Premier League in the last 5 to 7 games or 10 games or whatever it is, or just completely, fold and just I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how to play football, and then they score goals. But so that's why I chose to do that. But luckily, when I was stepped in, obviously, later on, I was like, ooh, okay, Ray scored.
Yeah, the first half had that air of inevitability where you just thought one more chance and it's game over, because if they'd have scored first, we weren't scoring. And if they had Isak, we would have been out of sight. We would have been 2 or 3-0. The chances they had in the first half, I think it was 8 to our 2 or something like that. You might have the stats in front of you, but Ray, yes, he redeemed himself a couple of times, but he shouldn't have been put us in that position in the first place. His pass outs are absolutely atrocious, and it's getting evident every game. He's doing the same thing. How many times has he done it these last 5 or 6 games that we've spoke about? Something needs to be sorted, mate, I tell you.
Yeah. Well, obviously, luckily we've got Southampton as our last game, and then that's it for the season. Yeah. So it's sort of, in a way, it's come at the right time.
Neto,
but not really. So you know what I mean. So
wholesale changes against. I think Neto might even get a game. I think everyone that hasn't played will get a game.
I think Sterling, Nwaneri will jump on as well. Maybe Oyedeji will probably even lead the line, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think it, whatever. But obviously, as much as we are happy with with the academy team almost, we still have to remember that City do have 2 games in hand, and they could just pip us to second. I know it's not going to make much difference in terms of, second to third. It's literally an irrelevant sort of gap. but I'd rather be second than third. So so there is something still to fight.
Some pride.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we still had a strong-ish team with some of these players peppered in around it. But I think Sterling, maybe even Neto, like you said, will probably get a goal. But then again,
Ray wants the Golden Glove, doesn't he?
Yeah, probably not going to happen, and you just kind of hope. But Notts Forest, they conceded, didn't they? Or did they win?
They did, yeah. So I think they've got 13 clean sheets, him and Sells.
Yeah, so this is Raya's 13th, wasn't it?
That was his 13th, yeah. So it's the next game, and Chelsea play Forest, so you'd think that he wants the Golden Glove, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's going to fight for that, isn't he? So it's going to be interesting. So maybe we can even confirm really that Raya will play the last match of the season just because of that. Whereas everyone else doesn't have anything to fight for, like personal accolades or anything, because whatever, man. I don't even want to look at how many goals we haven't scored.
God. I was going to ask you is the Golden Boot top? Is that close or not? Or I know Salah was up there. Haaland, I don't think he's dropped off.
I think it's
just I think Salah's just way ahead, isn't he?
Yeah, Salah's got 28, Isak on 23, and Haaland on 21. So
so it's Salah's, isn't it?
Yeah, Salah's taken that, and with 18 assists, by the way, as well. So if he manages to get 2 more assists, that's equaling Thierry Henry's record. And that would be an incredible season. Like an incredible season, and maybe even if he goes for Ballon d'Or, that would have been perfect. But I know he won't because of Champions League. So with Newcastle, we've had probably the worst luck against them, and I don't mean like luck as in they won by luck. It's just every time we faced them this season, we've just haven't been able to break them down at all. And there was periods in this match where you saw where they had like a 5-4-1 sort of defense, like whilst defending, and you think, Jesus Christ, these guys can just live off that little formation there, little strategy, and we couldn't break them down because there was no one to break them down. And even though Martinelli did have his little stint in the centre, still he wasn't able to make the runs that we need a striker to make.
It's very they're very disciplined, they're very athletic. I did like the fact that we interchanged. I think that's the first time all season I've seen Saka float into the middle, Trossard, and they all interchanged, all three of them at the front. They were very committed, Newcastle. You could see, obviously, they'd won the last 5 games or 7 games or something like that.
They've been on a good run.
You could see that, couldn't you? We were kind of a bit negative, really, and a bit depressed, deflated, whatever you want to call it. But they were up for it massively in the first half, and like you say, should have been out of sight. But they're very organised. I do like Eddie Howe. On paper, they probably haven't got as good a team than us, but they showed the athleticism, and I think sometimes that's our downfall. We haven't got as much speed at the back, whereas a lot of teams do have speed up front. And I'm going to get back to the old thing. Our forwards aren't that quick, barring Martinelli, and he's a predominantly left wing. So I think that in the summer
he's a head down runner,
chicken. Yeah. I just think. I mean, he did. To be fair, he did okay. And it could have went either. I think the game could have actually went either way, but luckily it was for us. But no, first half, I think I did notice the first 20-25 minutes, Rice was. I mean, you would have seen it, but he was. I don't think he touched the ball hardly. Him and Odegaard were piss poor. Saka had kind of a few touches, but he wasn't as. I mean, I know they do double up on him, but he wasn't as creative as he normally is. I don't know whether you've seen any of the match stats or anything like that, but the first 25 minutes he was okay. Trossard was really good first 25 minutes. Declan Rice and Odegaard, fucking hell. And even Partey, like I said, they were piss poor in that first half. He looked like Rice was on his last legs, honestly. And then your second half, which obviously what happened, but first half I thought we were very poor.
They do. I mean, Newcastle, they do have a couple of strong midfielders in there in Guimaraes and Tonali. So I think they are probably a little bit more cunning as players, which enables them to control the midfield. Whereas I feel like our midfielders were a bit too nice. We still got that air about nice about us. You know what I mean? That's and that always bothers me every time we face teams like a Newcastle or I know with Real Madrid we've beaten them, but somewhere where you go to a stadium where you think like, oh my God, we need to be tougher here. We're a bit too nice. You know, we're always like, oh yeah, sorry. You always see Declan Rice like apologizing or like smiling and waving.
Yeah, nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Which is fair. Like, you know, obviously be that as a normal person, but like, I want a player that is able to switch into this beast mode. And I'm not saying like go and tackle and kill everyone or whatever. No, obviously, but someone who knows, who sort of builds this level of intensity. Where you can
you want the Vieira type, don't you? You want the Vieira, Gilberto Silva. I know we're going back to the Invincibles, but that's that air of not arrogance, but you want the air of like, I am who I am. I'm great. I'm a great player, but I can also be a bit nasty as well.
Yeah.
But be nice. Be nice, nasty, if you know what I mean. And we're just nice.
Yeah, we're just too nice. Yeah.
Been part of our downfall this season. We're too nice, and the refs have gone against us. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, Stevie, I mean that's been a trait of ours for a very, very long time. I feel like during the Emirates era, we have been known as the nice team. Do you know what I mean? Like almost to say soft, nice. Yeah. For a long time.
It's the soft underbelly. I know people always talk about it. The soft underbelly. And sometimes I think it's come back to bite us in the arse as well. And because we've been nice, but try to be fair and try to win fairly, and then we've potentially been, I don't know how to put this, but potentially we've been awkwardly nasty. You're not naturally nasty, and then that's cost us because it's not us.
Yeah. It's like, why did you do that? Yeah, absolutely. I agree, and I think when people say the sort of underbelly, soft underbelly, and all that stuff, sometimes you just can't help but believe it because you're watching it with your eyes and you think, yes, they're right. Like, I need someone with a little bit more fire. And again, I'll always mention Alexis because he was a complete player as far as I'm concerned.
Fantastic.
He had everything about him: explosiveness in play and just attitude. He was brilliant. He had
heart. It was heart. Everything. It was the heart, the fire in his belly, like you say. He had the skill as well to go with it, didn't he? Yeah. Martinelli's similar, but he doesn't have that skill to go with it.
Like, look,
that's why it sets him apart.
Yeah, I agree. And again, he still is that nice player. It's like, oh, Martinelli, he's a nice player. It's like Vinicius. Obviously he's a bit of a dick, but he's got that nasty side about him. No, he's got that nasty side about him where sometimes it's acceptable. Where it's like, okay, someone pissed you off, then just go do some shit. Prove them wrong. Like Ronaldo, like he had that. Cristiano, he had that. It's like, oh, you want to play around? All right, let's play around. Like Zlatan, do you know what I mean? Like someone who's naturally normal and nice, but then you don't piss him off. Yeah, don't touch that guy. So again, for a long time, and even look at our past midfielders, Wilshere, Ramsey, they've all been nice guys. Flamini, Hleb, they've all been nice guys. It's
Fabregas was a kind of, he did have a bit of nastiness though in him, but as well as he was a nice guy, lovely, great, fantastic player, he did have a bit of a nasty streak in him, which I loved. And he kind of him and Van Persie kind of dragged us so close on numerous occasions, but the rest of the team were, like you say, a bit funny-ish.
Funny-ish, yeah. I mean, even Santi as well, like, great player, but he was known as the nice guy. Yeah, exactly. So that sometimes, I just want to, we hate other players when they're good because it's like, damn, you're a dick, but I wish you were in my team doing this. Yes. So, but then again, look, maybe some of these guys have that in their nature, but being under Mikel Arteta has changed them into this soft underbellies. Like, oh, everyone sit around the campfire, let's sing hippie songs and give each other hugs and shit.
Stroke dogs.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even from our mascot, for God's sake, the Gunnosaurus. Like, dude, don't go out there waving and shit. Just like do crazy stuff like be mean, be nasty. Yeah, green mean Gunnosaurus, man.
Yeah, we're known it. We're too nice, aren't we? We are too nice. We've gone from being horrible in the sort of like late 80s,
80s, 90s.
Kind of,
we were dicks. We were dicks.
Tony Adams, a lot, but Winterburn, Bold, a lot. They were all fucking horrible, weren't they? But now we're just turning. We're just a bit funny-ish.
I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. Like, what a horrible bunch of cunts. In the nicest way possible, because it was a joy to watch them. Because, like, they're going to kick off, mate. I don't know what's going to happen.
Keown, they were evil, weren't they? Evil, ugly-looking fuckers, weren't they? But fucking hell,
those were pub goers, bro. Those were now we're dealing
radio
with
faces.
Yeah, now we're dealing with kale eaters and fucking quinoa sniffers or whatever they do with it. I don't know what they're doing. Vegans. We're dealing with vegans, and I'm sorry to vegans out there, but yes, ridiculous. So, but yeah, no, I think that's, like I said, that's just been part of the Arsenal character for a long time. And the thing is, even like I said, my wife, she watches football now and again. She's not like us watching it constantly and that type of stuff. And she even says, like you're too soft. You got nothing about you to fight on. And she's right. It's like someone throw a fucking Snickers protein bar at these guys.
Maybe, like you say, again, it's another reflection of the manager. Arteta's kind of, he's a nice guy, isn't he? Like he comes across as nice in his interviews, apart from when he says the odd fucking shite about my dead body, this, that, and the other. But he comes across as nice. You want like a Conte, don't you? Someone horrible, or a what's his face from fucking Atletico Madrid. You want some nasty fuck, Simeone, and then the players will feed off that, and he'll fucking go and kill every cunt. Yeah. Sorry for the language.
Yeah, you're right. Probably have to beep a couple of those out, to be honest. But not.
But you know what I mean? Though it is a reflection sometimes of the manager, and potentially, obviously, when you look at Slot, he was calm, wasn't he? I know we say about Arteta conducting on the sideline and that, but he's a nice person. He's not nasty. But I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I think with Klopp, he sort of portrayed the nice guy, and we always liked him for it. But I feel like that
wound
guy,
every fucker up, didn't he?
Yeah, but I
wound everyone up. I didn't like him, but I liked him once. You know what I mean? And when he knew we weren't going to win,
of course, standard. Yeah, he was a good coach. There. Yeah, it's like yes, oh yeah, you're all right. But I can imagine his back room chats were just proper, that type of stuff going on, like shouting at everyone, and that mean face that he made with his jaw moves. It's like, I don't want to mess with this guy, bro. I don't know where this guy's been. Probably chewed a bear's head or something like that. That's why his jaw's like that.
Yeah. But who was the king? Who was the godfather? Who was the godfather of being fucking nasty, though? The Premiership's greatest manager.
Oh, Fergie. Yeah, absolutely.
Nasty fucker, wasn't he? Scottish nasty bastard.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. I mean, he was the type of guy, I feel like, every time you talk to him, he had like scotch on his breath. Do you know what I mean? And just
his nose, definitely on his nose.
Yeah, he's just or his nose hairs, and they're yellow because of the smoke. That he's just like, he just doesn't even light it anymore. He's got it strapped to his body somewhere. But again, nasty. And then you look at Wenger, and obviously we're going a little bit off topic, but just to, I will bring it back. But yeah, even with Wenger, last point on this, he had a bit of a nasty streak, but not to the point of Fergie. Again, he wanted to be fair, which personally, like that's why I fell in love with the team, because it's not
100%, exactly same with me.
Great, and then it's like, okay, well, someone pushed us and provoked us, so yeah, of course we're going to fight back. And that's just my motto in life anyway. And most people. So. And seeing it now, and for a long time, really, not just now, but for a long time, look at throughout the whole player list, I think maybe Gabriel is probably the only one that's got a nasty side about him. Maybe I don't know, but maybe a Calafiori, he looks like the type of motherfucker that would
who gets sent off for the sake of it.
Exactly, just a snap. But the rest of them, so nice guys, and that, I feel like, just bringing it back, I feel like that that adds or has added to the way that the team has been constructed. Maybe that's one thing that hasn't been taken away from them. Whereas, like you said, Arteta, he seems like a nice guy, and he just seems like a normal person. I just don't see him having a nasty streak per se. Like Pep, shit, you don't want to mess with that guy. He will banish you from football.
I think in football in terms, I think the reason why we've fallen short, without stating the obvious of our team not being good enough, over the years, obviously, especially when we won the Premiership with Wenger, we were that good that we could be nice as well with it, because we were that head and shoulders above everyone, barring obviously Man United, when we ran us close. But because we were that good, we didn't have to be nasty. Whereas at the moment, it's kind of, our team is so below. I know we're second, but we're so below Liverpool, and probably in technical terms, a few teams, but it's because they're that much better than us technically, and we've had to try to win ugly most of the time. Hence the boringness of half the games and board draws and such. So maybe to get to that next stage of potentially under Wenger, when we were that good, we do, like you say, we do need 3 or 4 players, but not just average players. We need, like I said to you in the text, we need 3 to 4 unbelievable worldies Whether we can get them, I don't know. But we need to start somewhere, and we've got the Rices, we've got Odegaards, we've got Saliba, Gabriel, Saka, potentially. We do need 5 really before we can get to that level. I think.
I told you. I think 6 to 7 is probably.
It's not going to happen though, is it?
Well,
looking at it, I don't think it is.
I don't know because, like you said, when you actually think about it, you said there you need 3 or 4 worldies. Let's say 3 worldies, for example, right? That's 3 out of potentially 7 players, but then the other 4 that could potentially come in, those could be very good backups. Do you know what I mean? Like someone who could step in instead of a Marino. Or someone who could fight for first 11. So that's why I'm excited about the summer, because I want to see what happens. We've heard the managers say that obviously it's going to be big. Let's see what the guys upstairs. Hopefully they do their jobs. So everything.
Any thoughts of Isak being out? Could you read anything into that as opposed to he's not playing against Arsenal because he's going to sign for them? Or do you think is that us just wishful thinking?
I'll be honest, right? I think the position that Newcastle are in, and obviously almost guaranteeing Champions League football, almost, because they still have
anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So almost guaranteeing Champions League. I think maybe you could be right where Isak's holding back. He's like, all right, let's just see what happens in these last couple of games, and then I'll make a decision. But if they end up in the Champions League, I really don't see him leaving or any point.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I don't know, but I've always thought he's come out in the past and said he wants to move to a more, not a glamorous club, because obviously
prestigious is the word that you're looking for.
Yes, exactly. So and he's always said he likes he'd always want to live in London. I know whether that could be Chelsea or anything, but he'd not played against us. I'm putting 2 together and coming up with 30, aren't I? Really, that's the top and bottom of it. But talking the news of Gyökeres, I know we're going off slightly off topic, but obviously with Isak, imagine we got them both.
I mean, I don't really see much benefit to that, to be honest, because one of them at least has to be on the bench. You can't really start both of them, and then you'll have to bring a whole new system. Which
Gyökeres is more of a.
I'm not saying that's not plausible, by the way. That could totally be a plausible thing to do, where you buy them and say, all right, well, we've got 2 strategies, we've got 2 world-class players. Let's just use that to our advantage. Hey, fair enough. If we've got the money to do that, then yes, I will back that to the hills. Do you know what I mean?
Effectively, it would only be 200 million.
Well, apparently it was like 300, and again, I don't know. No,
but I'm saying it would only be, to get them both, it would only be 200. So that if we have 100 million spare, there's 50 million for Zubimendi and 50 million for Williams. No, I'd be fucking over the moon with that, mate. Honestly,
I mean, look,
absolutely in dreamland.
That's the type of stuff. That's a dream scenario, right? That is actually a dream scenario, but it's just
we should be aiming for that though. That's the level we need. Imagine if the Premiership saw Gyökeres, Isak, Williams, Saka, Martinelli, Rice, Zubimendi. Imagine facing that. The fucking world would be absolutely terrified. Now, that's what we should be aiming for. Yeah, if we get 1, I'll be still over the moon. But can you imagine? Imagine that though for 1. Just in your mind now. Look at that formation. Just picture it out. The formation now of Gyökeres maybe on the left or the right, I don't know.
But he has to be central.
Isak down the middle. No, he plays something on the left.
That's where you're starting already. With it's like, well, boss, I'm meant to be striker, yeah, but we're going to play on the left. And
then even if they all made it, 1 for the Champions League, 1 for the Premiership, vice versa, because Isak's not going to do a full season. We've already said that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's plausible. 200 million there, both of them.
But then again, if you know that Isak's not really going to do a full season, and that's something that maybe has popped up for the Arsenal, hierarchy, then why would you want to spend over 100 million on a player that's not going to give you a full season? It's so.
Look at Rice, anyone can get injured. Look at Rice, he hasn't had a full season,
But the thing is with Rice, he was never injury prone. He wasn't known for that, whereas Isak has been known for that for a long time. And so that's my only thing. And obviously because we are Arsenal and we love injured players, that's where we shop. It's like, we will bring you back to health. No, you are not Frankenstein, all right? You are not Dr. Frankenstein. You're not going to fucking bring me back to health. Just leave me out of this. But that's what I mean. So I don't really see the need and that sort of money on a player like Isak when you could potentially get a Gyökeres for definitely a cheaper price. I think it was like 65 million euros or something he had in his contract as a sign of good faith or something like that. Yeah.
Who's that?
I read Gyökeres.
Yoki. Yeah, it's something like we can get him for less than 80 million euros.
So I'm happy.
60 million, isn't it? 60, 65 or whatever you say.
So I'm happy with that because shit, that opens up for other players. Like you said, out of the 3 players that you mentioned, we could definitely get 2 out of the 3. But I just don't see Gyökeres and Isak in that 2. It's either Gyökeres Williams or Isak Williams. You know what I mean? So, but I personally, I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think we're going to get Isak. I don't think they're even going to attempt to try that. To be honest, we could be surprised, and everyone could be like, "Oh my god, fucking hell, we got Isak! All right, great, brilliant. I'm happy." You know, it's not like I'm going to be disappointed with that. You know what I mean? It's just from what I know of Arsenal, I just don't see that happening because then wage structures will have to change, and it's a whole thing. And now he's got the team balance, so I don't really want like an Aubameyang, Lacazette, Mesut Ozil sort of situation going on. And I know it could be, you know, that could be nothing, and we'll probably never get to that. But I'm just saying, you know, we've seen a lot of good players at the same time in a club like Arsenal, where it's like, well, you know, yes, we have money, but we don't have that Real Madrid, Barcelona money, you know, what they used to have, or Man City money, or PSG, you know, to keep constantly paying these guys and not when they're not performing. So yeah, personally, I just don't think we're going to go for Isak. I think Gyökeres Williams is a great shout, and I don't see any reason why we can't go in for Williams. And definitely Zubimendi, I think all but confirmed still. I don't think.
I'm not going to count my chickens. I'm not asked if we don't get him, we don't get him. I'm not one of these things. If we were like 99% getting Gyökeres, and I'd be really excited, and we didn't get him, I'd be well fucking pissed. If we're 99% getting Zubimendi and we don't get him, I'm not asked. He doesn't fill me with anything that we haven't already got, if you know what I mean. Yes, he might be technically quite good, but he doesn't. It's not like a Lookman, Williams, Gyökeres, Isak, Eze, Semenyo. He's not that type of player that's going to excite me. So if we don't get him, I'm not asked. I'd rather have Semenyo or Eze rather than Zubimendi, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And I think if it's not done and it's something that they are debating over, and someone like a Semenyo or an Eze comes, you know, sort of available, go for them both. Get both of them. If they get both of those players, that's what would make me happy, rather than a Gyökeres and an Isak. I think those 2 players, a Semenyo and an Eze, I think that's the team. That's the team. You get one of those. You get 2 of those.
You get the creativity, don't you?
Of course, because you got Odegaard, then you've got Eze there. They could potentially play at the same time, or obviously, like you said, alternate in between matches. And again, that would give the ability to sort of extend the formations, the strategies, the tactics that Arteta has, you know, and hopefully it would broaden his horizons. Do you know what I mean? It's like, dude, can you do something else, please? So that's, you know, I think that's what we need to aim for, rather than let's just go spend big on almost Galactico sort of style. Let's just go for players that no, again, I know you're going to say they're not Galactico. Of course they're not. But I'm saying it feels like with the money that you would spend to get both of them, just going for an Eze, going for a Semenyo. They are Premier League players, you know, they're proven, they're very good players. Just put them in a better system with better players around them and watch them flourish. So yeah, sometimes it feels like it's rocket science when you're trying to figure out what the club's going to do, and you think, well, surely this is the right answer right here that everyone can see. And sometimes that's the frustrating thing with, you know, for fans, for us, isn't it? It's like, well, we can see what you need. Why are you not even considering this guy? But, you know, always we don't know what's going to be on the team. So, but yeah.
The game,
yeah. Oh God, yeah. Let's go back to that. God, yeah, that's how good it was. So I did like the build up to the goal, because, you know, first half, shit, we were lucky, and Raya made some incredible saves that, you know, he saved our ass really in the first half.
I mean, Pope saved from, was it Partey? I think Pope made a point blank save from our corner in the first half.
That's right, yeah. That was really awesome,
you know, yeah. So, you know, as much as they really dominated the first half, we did have a chance to kind of score. So it was Pope. It was a tale of 2 keepers the first half, I thought. And then, like you say, the second half, our mate Declan scored a worldie. As a worldie, wasn't
it? Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. What a just incredible man. Like, and I like the whole run of play. Really, you know, it was Saka, Odegaard, and then fucking Declan. Boom! What a shot from the outside. Yeah, big deck, and just a swerving shot. And
beautiful.
You think, right? Okay, that was excellent.
To beat Pope from there,
because it's Tekkers from Dekkers.
Like, hey, are you going to copyright that?
I had to.
Someone's already added that. Someone you've copied it off somewhere.
Yeah, maybe, or I'll send him. I'll be like, yo, can you just get some t-shirts called Tekkers from Dekkers? Fucking hell, bro.
But to beat Port from there, man, it was awesome, wasn't it? I mean,
he's gone. Stevie's gone. Where's he gone? I mean, he's there, but I can't hear him. Why can't I hear him? He is mouthing things to me, I think, but I don't know what's happening. Still mouthing things. I don't know why he's
trying to reconnect, says from my end, but I've not got no internet.
Nope, still can't hear him. Wow. If you can hear me, by the way, can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, so you can hear me, but I cannot hear you at all. I don't know why.
Carry on talking. Carry on.
Oh no, I think his microphone's gone. Oh no, I think something's happened. But anyway, whilst we wait for Stevie to come back. Oh, there he is. I heard noise. Yes, there you go. The whistling is there. Stevie is around the back of the laptop. He is touching it, I think. Why is it touching it so vigorously? What are you doing? Get off the laptop, sir. Well, it's going to be a surprise for him when he hears it. And I think he's back. I think Stephen's back.
Oh, hello.
Yes, you are back. Yes, I don't know what happened there.
Bit of music, I think. I was actually topping myself up with more grapes.
Well, that's not what the listeners heard, so you'll be surprised when you hear back that this podcast. But anyways, as you were saying, without audio, but now you have audio, so please, you have the floor.
What were we talking about, please? I think we were talking about Big Deck. Tekkers from Dekkers.
Yeah, Tekkers.
No, that's what I was saying. How, to be, I think Pope's a decent keeper, mate. I mean, he's not great in other aspects, but as a shot stopper, he's pretty good, and he's a big bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And the way that ball curved in, it was very similar to the goal he scored against Chelsea, was it? I think my memory serves me right. Not last season, maybe the season before, I don't know, when he curled it away from the keeper. I just thought it was because I think anywhere else, it was against Chelsea, wasn't it? I think
wasn't that
when he curled it.
First or second goals that he scored for Arsenal. Like, I think
possibly, yeah.
I think
we're getting beat 2-0 or something. It's his first goal.
I think it was last season, yeah, because he came through big, Tekkers from Dekkers. Because I do remember that, because that was around the time when obviously Chelsea fans were like, well, we should have gone in for him. It's like, oh, we had conversations with him. It's like, well, you didn't, so get fucking lost.
Yeah. So, exactly.
So you're, and he's got that in him, and he always has. But like you said,
to beat Pope from there.
Yeah,
it was amazing. It was a great shot.
Incredible. And
couldn't have gone anywhere else. He would have saved it. But the way he did it was brilliant. Hats off to him. Take a bow deck, which he did.
Yes. Yeah.
But other than that, he had a shit game, to be fair.
Yeah, he was around the midfield. That's all I'll say. That's why I will say Partey was the man of the match for me. Like, from an Arsenal point of view, I just felt like he controlled the midfield very nicely. Whereas Odegaard and Rice, they were kind of like, okay, yeah, he was linking. Odegaard was linking up with Saka, but not to that fluidity.
Odegaard was poor.
Yeah, he was. And again, I'm not going to sit here and contradict that. So yeah, I will agree. So I will concede to what you've been saying, okay? I said it, for God's sake.
Let it out.
Let it go, please. Let it go. God damn it. Tekkers from Dekkers, and by the way, that is the name of the podcast, the name of the episode.
I love it. Yes, very good.
So, yeah, he stepped up, big player, and it's just a shame. It's just a shame that he doesn't have other big players like himself around, do you know what I mean, to step up to that. Yeah, again, because this season we haven't been known to shoot from outside the box. It's only been in the last few matches, really, in the last few weeks. So for for maybe Arteta to let him loose and do that, I think that's a progressive way of thinking, because he's sort of it shows to me that he's moving on from that rigidity that he's been showing so far. Arteta, I mean, so by letting Declan Rice or another player like a Partey shoot from outside the box freely, or more constantly, more consistently, then I just feel like that's always a good thing. That's that's always going to help us, and I'm glad that Declan Rice was the guy that stepped up to take the shot and finish it. So hopefully he adds more of that next season, and with the addition, hopefully, of other players in front of him, we could really be a massive force to be reckoned with. For God's sake, I'm sick of
which we already are. You're losing the will now, aren't you?
I can't say it anymore. I'm done now. I'm done. 45 minutes. We said 45 minutes, right?
That's it. End of. Goodbye. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Bye-bye. But yeah, so second half, obviously we did change up. We basically did what we did against Liverpool and just show up in the second half. It's like, oh well, maybe we kind of have to play this game now. So, and we did, and but why did we do that in the first half? Why aren't we doing this in the first half? The season is not over.
Fatigue.
I know, but then change it up. This was an important match, I get it, but then you had other matches to sort of change it up. Like we said about Waneri, for example. Why hasn't he been coming on more often? And,
I don't know.
So, and that's a bit of a problem. So, squad depth, obviously we've said that, confidence of one area, whatever it is. But whatever it may be, it's not something that's been helping our cause. So yeah, I think second half, like I said, we did a job. At the end, we did a job. The crowd.
That's all that mattered, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think all that mattered was, it wasn't about the performance, wasn't it? Because there was nothing to play for other than. It was second place. It was a battle for second place, because if they'd have won, they would have gone second. Yeah. So there was quite a lot riding on it in theory, because the league had already gone. But the way we started it was though it was a non-event. And that's what I think upset me, especially the first half. Second half, it was a completely different game when we competed. It was as though, like Arteta said, look, do you want to finish second, or do you, because we potentially, I know it was hard, we probably wouldn't have finished fifth, but that was never going to happen. The worst I think that we would have finished would have been fourth if we'd have got beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did mean something. But the players, I thought the first half, I don't think they felt that it meant anything. Hence the fucking shitness that was rare to start with.
That transpired,
yeah, I could just tell. I was just watching it, and I watched the first couple of minutes and thought, these players don't really look up for it here. They're a bit lethargic. They didn't look comfortable on the ball. It was just like they were just 100 mile an hour at it straight away. And if it wasn't for Raya, I suppose it could have been we could have been third today. But we're not.
Yeah.
Second.
Yes. We beat
the result.
We finally beat Newcastle this season once, so I'm happy with that. Good, good result moving forward, and hopefully we can continue beating Newcastle every time we face them.
Because it was a bit nasty at the end as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's very niggly. It was very niggly, I thought.
It's always been that match with Newcastle. Yeah. Always been that match. As far as much as I remember, any like matches against Newcastle, it's always been like that. So
do you think it's because they think that they're bigger than not bigger than us, but do you think they're more in competition than us than they are with like City, say Liverpool? We're kind of the pretenders to the throne. Liverpool have won it, Man City have won it. We haven't won, and they're challenging because we haven't won it for God knows how long. They've just won a cup. 21, coming up 22. Okay.
You make me sad.
It's the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Apparently I can't handle the truth. So no more truth bombs here tonight. All right. But yeah, it's. I'm glad that we did manage to pull something out from this match, because I couldn't. It's the last like sort of nail in the coffin if we drop from second. I'll be honest with you, it just would have been just very, very deflating, and it would have just taken out any positives really that we could pull from this season, And there has been positives, by the way. Like we have talked about them before, but unfortunately, 2025 has given us more negativity than positivity. There's been a couple of like sparks in the Real Madrid games and the PSV thrashing, but that was this year, wasn't it? 2025. when we thrashed PSV 7-1.
Yeah. Early on, I think, February or something.
Yeah, so I think, those have been the sort of highlights really, but everything else just hasn't been anywhere near where we needed to be, especially in the league.
Is it progress this season?
Yeah, okay, I'm going to say yes, but it's very, very sort of minute progress. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, it hasn't been like a 2-step or a 10-step sort of improvement. It's been like a 0.5 almost. Do you know what I mean? So yes, but definitely not as much as it should have been by winning the league or the Champions League.
I think, obviously, points tally-wise in the league we've regressed.
Yes,
we've still finished second.
Yeah.
Champions League, obviously, we've progressed. We've got the semis.
Yeah. I think that's the 0.5.
But I think it might be more because last season we hardly had any injuries. Yes, we got more points, but we still finished second. We've had a lot of injuries this season, but we're still second. I know is it that glass half full or whatever, but do you know what I mean? Or not? If next season we have these sprinkling of the class players that we're all desperate to sign, makes you think, well, we potentially could do it with those players. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, and I know you're saying that it's a 0.5 of an increase because yes, we've got better in the semi-final of the Champions League, but maybe it's more because as a team we've got stronger because of the injuries, and we've still managed. I said to you a couple of weeks ago, I said it's a better season because we've had so many injuries, yet we're still second. It's a fucking miracle. It's a hard one, isn't it? That I think it's a tricky one.
And it's an interesting question, to be honest, or statement in a way, because I feel like with Arteta this season, he as a manager has learned quite a lot from these injuries, because obviously squad management and squad depth has had a lot to play in this season for him. So I know he's had plenty of headaches with this situation. Every time a player goes down, especially when Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Rice, they had the little injuries or little niggles or whatever it was. That's a major headache to him, and I feel like he's learned quite a lot. But the only way we know that he's learned is who and how many he signs in the summer. Do you know what I mean? If he reinforces with, like we said, 6 to 7 players, which again is very ambitious, by the way. I'm not saying that is going to happen, obviously, but it's very ambitious. If it does, then it's like, right, okay, he's learned his lesson of never to leave the squad very thin. But at the same time, I will say this: if he signs 4 players or 3 players in the summer and then he splashes out again in January with effective signings, then I feel like, again, that's him still learning his lesson. It's like, right, okay, well, I didn't sign anyone the last 3 seasons in January, and those are the 3 seasons that end up second. Let's switch it up now. So I'm kind of hoping this season is going to be a massive lesson for Arteta in terms of squad building and squad management. And and like you said, we're second, so I feel like he kind of passed it, but then does that bring in caveats of, but the other teams didn't perform, like a Chelsea fell off, Nottingham Forest fell off, Aston Villa obviously fell off for a big period of the season. That's why they were never really a competition this season. That's why it always seemed it's always us against Liverpool, because that's literally all it was, us against Liverpool. Yeah. So and again, that adds to the frustration of, we should have been closer. But like you said, the caveat is we had injuries, and that was the main difference between us and Liverpool. And even Merson said the same thing. You probably heard it. He said the same thing. If you take out Salah and Van Dijk, there's no way that's team.
We've been saying it, haven't we?
So again, I'm glad that even the professionals are sort of not agreeing with us, because they listen to our podcast, but it's good to know that we're in the same.
We're talking the same sense, aren't we?
We're talking sense. Yeah.
Do you? I don't know if you heard Merce mention about. Do you think he's got till Christmas if we're not in the top 2? Do you think he could be gone?
I don't think so. I think that's a bit extreme. But I definitely do think by the end of next season, if it's this sort of situation, then I probably think so, because. Okay, we're second again. Oh God, without even wishing it or manifesting it. Okay, we'd be second again. But then, what have we done? What else have we done? If we're second, have we won the 2 domestic cups?
Have we won an FA Cup or something?
Yeah, we won 2 domestic cups, and then we'll go into the semi-finals of the Champions League again. I'm happy with that season. That's a happy season for me. Fuck it. I know obviously it's not the Premier League. I understand that. But at least that would be proper progression. It's like, all right, 2 cups, 2 domestics. You won those. Brilliant. Excellent. That's bought you another season, sir. Okay? So let's see what you've learned from this season. Carry it on. So again, from now on...
I think he's got to... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say from now on, I don't think it's going to be Arteta has like 4 years extra on Arsenal, with Arsenal, sorry. I feel like it's going to be a situation where they will have to assess it season by season, or, if it gets worse, half season.
Yeah,
half season,
that's what I'm saying is, so if he's, I think we were 3rd at Christmas, weren't we, I think, this year. So say if we're, 10 points behind at Christmas, could he effectively be under pressure? Or if there's no injuries and he's got Gyökeres and Williams and such like that. So if we're 10 points behind come Christmas and we have these signings, is he under pressure, or do you think he'll just stick with him in the season to see where we finish? Or if we have looked like we've regressed, it's a tricky one, because for a fact that City are going to be challenging better.
Yeah.
Liverpool's still going to be up there. Chelsea probably going to be up there. Newcastle is going to be up there. It's even going to be harder again. Yeah. I know we keep saying this every season.
But I think this season probably an outlier, to be honest, because it's just been a weird season with all the other teams.
It does. I mean, City have lost 9, I believe.
9,
isn't
yeah.
It? 9. For
so
sake.
Again, like they said on Sky Sports, and with City losing 9, we were the only genuine contenders. But then Merce said, well, Liverpool were quite close last season, but then they had the little slip up, and then that was the end of that.
Yeah.
But again, we were still the closest to winning, or we should have been closest to winning, but whatever, without bringing up last season. So I think if he's like 2nd or 3rd by Christmas, and we put in some good performances where there've been decent, some good wins, and we haven't done anything stupid, then of course you're gonna have to wait until the end of the season to see what happens.
What if we're like 10 behind?
10 points behind, and there's like a 3-horse race or whatever, then I still think we stick out with him, because okay. So if we get to December and he's, like you said, 10 points, or he's just 3rd or whatever, and maybe 3 or 4 points, from top or whatever.
Well, 3 or 4 points, no, but I'm on about like 10 points.
If he's 10 points, then something has happened throughout the first half of the season, where it's like either someone's got injured or whatever, so or someone's not working out.
We've drawn too many.
Yeah, or something's not working out. Then I feel like that's where January comes back in, and Unfortunately, Arteta has kind of set himself up in such a way, maybe even if it isn't his fault, he set up himself in such a way where a January sort of window will be the thing that breaks him. Like the thing that sort of, gets him fired. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like he's done it too many times now to be like, well, hang on a minute, mate. They're giving you the money, so either you don't know what players you want to buy, and you just spent everything during the summer transfer, and then you're like, well, I can't do anything in January. So, well, shit, squad depth.
I think it would be.
So then it becomes a different conversation where it's like, well, you reach your limits with us, thank you.
Yes, I do think on the other side of the coin, if we were 10 points clear by Christmas and never won it, fucking hell, it would be, wouldn't it?
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, I mean, yeah. Look. That's too extreme. Okay, but yes, obviously it's been known to happen, because we were leading by 10 points last season during
8 was it 8 or 9? I can't remember.
Christmas time, when we were like literally the only one who everyone thought we were going to win, and then obviously City went in that incredible run. But so yeah, it happens. But like I said, I hope he's learned a lot from at the very least this season specifically, because again, January transfer had something to do with it. Lack of striker in the summer had something to do with it, and obviously injuries had something to do with it. So that was like a trifecta of problems that really brought us down. That was literally our downfall this season. Those were the 3 things that just And obviously, we can bring in other smaller things like some of the officiating and whatnot. But those are the big things. Like I want to talk about stuff that the team can control. You can't control what the ref does or whatever it is, or what VAR decides. Once it's decided, it's done. But let's just concentrate on things that the team have power over in changing.
Yeah. So I do think I think you're right there, but I do think that the summer transfer window will be the main window. I don't think January will be in it. I think they'll get everything done in December. I think whatever we're going to do, that'll be the main crux of it. Unless we get a mental amount of injuries, whether Saliba goes or, Raya doesn't, if he gets injured or something like that, then I think, barring a catastrophe of injuries, I don't think there'll be much in January, personally. I think it'll all be done in the summer. I think we'll be happy with the summer. Personally, I think we will be happy, but it's whether it'll be enough. I think everyone will just be happy with fucking one sign and one of Gyökeres if they got him. I think.
No, that's
really.
honestly, Steve, that's just not enough, man. Like I said,
I know it's not enough.
I feel with Arteta, if he's got X amount of money to spend and he doesn't sign at the very, very minimum, I know obviously I said 6 or 7, but that's very ambitious. But at the very minimum, 3 players by the end of the summer transfer window. I think that's close to me losing hope, because I don't think that's enough. I really don't. No. That's just not enough.
Is it Santos from Chelsea? There's a lot of links with him, isn't there? Is he a midfielder or an attacking midfielder? He's on loan at the minute. Is he on loan? Is he called Santos? Is he on loan at Santos? I can't remember.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about any more Chelsea players. I tend to stay away from those.
Would you have? I mean, there's talk of Jackson, there's talk of Nkuku. Please, no more.
No, I don't want to.
No, seriously, no more. Just let's go get some proper world-class players that are going to improve us.
I'd much rather go for a Gibbs White or a Dominic Solanke than go for
what?
No, then go for Nkuku and Jackson. Yeah,
Dominic Solanke. No,
I'll go for Solanke 100%. He could be like a Giroud.
Van Persie.
He's not good enough to be Van Persie. Are you kidding? No, I'm talking about Giroud, and he's probably not even good enough to be Giroud.
Kangaroo Giroud.
Yeah, no, you can't. Sorry. Yeah, I just insulted Olivier Giroud there. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I apologize. He was a legend for us. He's a legend for us. So yeah, look, like we said before, we will come back to what's going to be done throughout the summer and rumors and all that stuff. But just to wrap up on the game, by the way.
I just want to do some quick player ratings if you wanted to go for it.
Let's do it. I'll tell you what.
Go on.
I'll pull it up on Flash Scores, like what they've rated, and I just want to see what type of rating you're giving their players. Right.
We're going to go with first. Raya first, is it?
Yeah, Raya first. Yeah. And
I'm going to give him.
Sorry, and again, the ratings have to be not personal attacks. Just so we're clear on that, right? They can't be personal attacks. They have to be educated ratings from what you saw in that on that pitch on that day, not like what he did to his cat like 3 years ago, or when he spit in your shoe or whatever it is. Go.
The thing is, Raya. With Raya, he splits my opinion every game, because he, as you know, the first half he was fucking shite, giving the ball away, passing it out of their players, put it under pressure, but also doing fucking world-class saves. But it should never have got to that. We shouldn't be under this pressure. Liverpool wouldn't be under that pressure. So, I know the teams are under pressure like us, and it's all down to him. And he should, so I don't really want to give him a score, because...
No, you should. No, you will give him a score, but what is it going to be? You can't be that...
Can I give him a score on the fact of his clearances and his kickouts, his distribution, and then his score on his saves?
No, he has to be like an overall average, because these are overall averages.
But I know he's going to probably get a 9, but I think he's probably a 6.5 for his distribution. But his saves are a 9, so I'm 7.
About 7.5.
Yeah.
That's what they're giving him, 7.5. So obviously, look, yeah, I think you're right. 7. I think the 7.5, maybe the 0.5 is a bit too much. Maybe a 7 would have been just perfect. But you're right. Yeah. That's what Riot does, and that's why that's why I like him, because most matches he will give you a 7. Do you know? He doesn't really dip below 7. Like you said, he'll have extremes in a match, but as an overall average, he'll always be around that sort of 7 mark. And that's, like I said, that's why I like him. He's consistent for us. Like, we know what to expect from him. As obviously, I know the opposition know what to expect from him as well. But he's like, today, for example, he was kicking the ball out. He wasn't playing it short in the second half because he realised it's like, okay, shit, okay, I need to stop doing that now. And again, that could just be down to what Arteta's telling him. You know, maybe he is the type of guy that, well, I need to kick it long, like we said on the last episode. I need to kick it long, but I can't because he's asking me to. So, do you know what I mean? So I feel like he's doing what he's asked to do, and I think he's done a fucking excellent job this season.
Do you know when Arteta brought him in and everyone was saying, Ramsdale, fucking hell, it's a bit harsh on Ramsdale, he's done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
What was Ramsdale's problem? Was it the fact that he was a bit flappy-ansky? Not flappy-ansky, but was he a bit... it was his distribution... Was it coming into question? His distribution, was that what it was?
His distribution...
Because realistically, the saving aspect of it, I don't think there was any difference.
He was good, but I think the problem that Ramsdale had was probably his concentration levels. Like, there was moments in matches where he just sort of like, dude, are you even here? But obviously, like you said, there is other situations where he just makes incredible saves, like the one against Southampton. Where
Leicester.
Was it Leicester or Southampton?
Where Leicester, the free kick with Maddison. That was a good one.
That's right, yeah. So, he did. So, again, he had that in him, but I just feel like his levels of concentration, I mean, his distribution was all right, like, as far as I remember with the Ramsdale. I don't think that was an issue. I think
there was a couple of issues, the way similar to Raya, where I think Southampton game was one of them, where I think they went 2-0 up, and one of his was a pass out to his Alcaraz or someone like that.
So I'm saying that was the main thing with Ramsdale. Whereas I'm not saying Raya is perfect, but Ramsdale just didn't have that confidence, and maybe when it matters, that's when he was making the mistake. So yeah, it was a bit unfair, and it would have been nice to have him as a second keeper, I'll be honest. But you know, he wanted to play first. Maybe you can come back to us and be like, do you know what, guys? I'll do second. I could do second now. I won't relegate.
Do you think this is why he potentially could be bringing in another keeper to keep Raya on his toes more? Because I'm still not convinced. If I had Raya as my keeper, or if I had Alisson or Courtois or something like that, I'd be obviously so much more confident. I mean, even Matt Sells, I think, potentially is a better keeper. I'm not 100% convinced with Raya. As much as I think he's a great shot stopper, he saved us in plenty of games. If we had that number one goalkeeper, which was renowned for one of the best in the world, or even the top 3 to 5 in the world, I'd be so much more confident that we could actually win the league or win something. I'm still not convinced with Raya. That's
fair. That's fair. When he first signed, I was kind of like you, although I don't really fancy this guy, to be honest. It just doesn't seem good enough. But I just feel like he's proven himself over and over again. Yes, he's got mistakes, 100%. I can't, no one can deny that. But I just think right now, for what we need him to do for us, I think he's doing that. Overall, he's doing that very well. But yeah, at the same time, I do agree that we desperately need a second keeper to give him competition. That's not just to keep Raya on his toes. No, that's just to bring in, like you said, a world-class goalkeeper that will minimize those mistakes, because all of them have some sort of lapse in concentration, but it's like a long period of time before they have those lapses in concentration. Whereas with Raya, it seemed a little bit more frequent, and it's sort of like correlated with the rest of the team sort of switching off, to be honest. Defense hasn't been that good. Gabriel missing hasn't helped matters. Saliba had mistakes in him as well. So again, it just feels like confidence has been lowered in amongst those sort of back line. You know what I mean? Those players at the back. Whereas maybe that trust isn't there anymore with Raya. Whereas with Gabriel was there. Gabriel was dictating, pass it over here, give it to me, I'll take it out. You didn't really see Odegaard moving in that position to take the ball very often. So again, all these things play into it. But at the same time, these are professional footballers, so you are trained to play with every member of your team. You know what I mean? Even with academy players, you are trained to play with them in these scenarios. So yeah, but again, I think I'm just a bit more concerned that a few pods ago we mentioned the fact that we were being found out, and I'm a bit concerned that next season it might be more evident that we're found out. A lot of teams might press as the last sort of 5 or 6 teams have against us, and it might become a bit more of a glaring sort of
negative on the team. And I know what you're saying. That every keeper have got a mistake in them. I mean, like you, I mean, obviously I was opposite. I actually thought Raya would be a massive improvement on the Ramsdale, and to a degree, I was all for Raya replacing Ramsdale. But as the season's gone on, last season he was great, but as the season's gone on, this season I just felt there's been too many errors creeping into his game. Now, is that down to him not being as good, or is that down to the fact that we've been pressurised more by the opposition? I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but that's me personally. I think that have we been found out, and if we've been found out next season, it might turn into a problem.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned earlier, like there, it's sort of like they work together. Really, do you know what I mean? Do we not have the right players, or is he playing shit? It's like, well, it's kind of like it's a combination of both, because to kick the ball out from the back, you have to be aiming for someone that, or otherwise you're just literally just giving the ball away, and which is never the aim. So when you don't have anyone to make those runs, who sort of can be like, right, okay, I don't need you to come all the way back to defend. I need you to stay right here on the line, Gyökeres, for example, or Martinelli, because you are fast. That's why I've always said, just put him in that position, in that central striker position, because he doesn't have to go back and defend, and he has the speed to break, as he showed today as well. Again, but this problem is head down and doesn't look up, and that's the main issue. So with Raya, I think it is a combination of both, because he's got no one to aim up front. No one. He has players to aim for, but who's going to take it down? Trossard against Dan Burn, like what? That's never going to happen. You know what I mean? Or Trossard against any Premier League defender. Do you know what I mean? That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think it is a few things rolled into one. So you can't really, Raya's shit or this shit. It is a combination of everything. That sort of developed into it. But yeah, that sounds like I'm sticking up for Raya too much, but I just feel like
you are
a bit of fairness. Anyway, BBC. Right. Okay. Look, I think we've gone over for an hour. Do you have anything else you want to add from the game? Anything? I
wouldn't have any. Do you want to quickly do some scores for the teams?
Yeah,
quickly before we go to the Formula One. So right back, Benny Blanco, I thought he was pretty poor, to be fair. I thought he got caught out a lot of times. He was very slow, looked wrecked, looked tired. I think he was probably a 6.
They gave him a 6.9. So yeah, thereabouts. I think he's the only orange one out of all of them, and I don't mean his tan. So I mean his colour of the rating.
Saliba, I would probably give him a 7.5.
7.1. So again, you don't have to go with 0.1s and 0.2s. No, you can just go with halves.
Okay.
Kivio,
Kreitzfeld.
Jakob Kreitzfeld.
I would give him, honestly, Kreitzfeld, Jakob, I would give him at least, this is a fucking drum roll.
Go on, hit me with it. I know what you're going to say, because
8.
Yeah, of course, he's got an 8.2 over here, and they've put him as man of the match, to be honest. So and I could vote. Do you know what? I will change my answer from Partey to Kivio.
Oh, because you're looking at scores.
No, I will change it, because now that that's reminded me how good Kivio was.
Yeah,
it wasn't just an eye test. Lewis Kelly, which, by the way, real quick, I will say that I don't think he had a good game.
No,
especially in that first half. I thought he made a lot of mistakes, and I genuinely thought that he had been hooked for Calafiori. But I think that was Saliba, wasn't it? That got taken off.
Saliba, yeah. Skelly, I would probably give him a 5.5.
Oh, they've given him a 7.3, maybe the second half. But I mean, it was all right.
I didn't think he did anything. He didn't stand out. Whether that's a good thing, he came into his own in the second half. He did actually. He did a few more runs, I suppose. I think that's probably being a bit harsh. I'm going to give him a 6 anyway. But midfield, Trossard, I'm going to give him a 7.8.
Oh, you got a 7.3 here. So,
okay. I thought he was okay. I mean, he probably faded in the second half. Odegaard, I'm going to give him a 5.
Come on, just take your head out of it, man. Just.
What did he do?
Okay.
What did he do?
He got 7.4 here.
Well, obviously that's biased.
He gave the assist. He assisted.
And that's a biased score. He was piss poor. Anyway, go on, move on.
Partey?
Rice or Partey. I'm going to give him a... First half, he was a 6. Second half, he was probably a 7.
So... average?
7.
Okay, yeah, that's actually bang on, to be honest. Rice?
He scored the goal, so he can't. It's a 7, isn't it?
Yeah, minimum. They're giving him an 8.2 here, and I feel like from what I saw, an 8 sounds about right for Rice, to be honest.
He did. To be fair, I was watching it. The first half, he was very leggy, didn't do much. Second half, he scored the goal, and there was at times I was watching him. I thought he looks out on his fucking arse, but he like ran at the corners. He was taking players on. He was showing a bit of skill. I thought, hats off to him there. He played really well. So yeah, probably a bit harsh 7, but for the first half, I'm only going to give him a 7 total.
Can we take the 0.4 from Odegaard and add it to Partey? Saka?
Shit.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him a 6.5.
He got 7.6 here. So
fuck off. He got 7.6. Fuck that.
He had that run. No. He had that run.
One run, yes.
He had that run.
Chicken run.
Yeah, you remember that run. And Martinelli, which I feel
Martinelli,
go on.
Yeah, he ran his socks off. Yeah, he didn't create much. Didn't have any influence on any particular shots or anything like that. But he ran his socks off. Did a lot for the team. So I would probably give him 7.5.
Yeah, they've given him a 7 here, which I feel like it's a bit unfair. I feel like maybe a 7.5 to 7.8 if we're going to do that. I think he did really well, to be honest. He had a couple of runs, couple of sort of breakout runs, but unfortunately, head down, Gabby. That's what we're going to call him from now on.
HDG.
And obviously for the substitutes.
Subs. I thought Calafiori played all right.
Yeah,
he thought he did all right when he came on. He
had a good tackle, actually. He had a good tackle, didn't
he? He did. He played a couple of nice balls. He looked very effective, very assured on the ball. I couldn't really say that about him last week. I thought he looked like a fish out of water, but I thought today he did pretty good. I thought maybe we shouldn't get rid of him. So I'm going to give him. Did he get a score?
Yeah, he got 6.6.
6. Yeah, 6.
Who else? Then Kai Havertz.
Fucking shit.
Give me a score, man.
5.
You got 6.3, which I feel like it's a bit extra. I think it's a bit too much considering you got a yellow card as well. It's like, okay, that's a bit shit.
Do you know what? When he came on, he upset every fucking Newcastle player. He tried to wind them up.
Yeah. That's what he does.
Was a cunt.
That's what he does.
He was horrible. Isn't he? Shit, he falls over. Fuck off.
That's the player that we need. But not.
Yeah, I know what you said.
But we need someone like sort of better than him to score goals. Yes, he can do the shithousery, but we need someone better to score goals. He can't do both.
Yes.
But yeah, look, like we said, that was that, and hopefully City lose on Wednesday. And
if a draw, then that's it. It's guaranteed. Second's guaranteed.
Yeah, that's fine. So, at least we've got Champions League football guaranteed, so that's what matters.
Yeah, just finally on the football. Getting back to goalkeepers, would it be a possibility that we could get someone like Oblak from? Is it Valencia? Is it he plays for?
No, Oblak plays for Atletico, right?
Atletico Madrid. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't.
How old is he? I mean, he looks about 50, but he's probably not.
He's always looked about 50 though, even when he was 17. Yeah. So I think with Oblak, I think he's about 32, I believe.
Not prime.
Not Oblast. No, I don't want to search Russian stuff. Slovenian. So he is 32. Wow, that was actually a massive guess.
Good guess.
There you go. So yeah, I don't think.
Do you fancy another challenge? You think the Premiership? Because he would be absolutely fantastic for us. Big, powerful, strong, knows the game, great shot stopper, great crosses, fills you with confidence.
I mean,
don't know what he's like kicking the ball out, but you know,
he's a powerful kick. Yeah, he's got big legs, so he'll kick it out. But Andrea Berta obviously links. That could always be a possibility. You know, before it could have been 100% no. Now it could be 90% no. So yeah, that 10% could be just let's have a listen, let's see what's going on. Absolutely. I mean,
I just think obviously with Man City being linked with Donnarumma, that's a massive coup for them if they get him. I would definitely think there would be right up there next season if they got him because they're great anyway.
I mean, that could just be a straight swap between Donnarumma and Edison.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, game changer. But anyway, let's move on then. Let's move on to.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll talk more about transfers in the upcoming weeks and months. Yeah. But yeah, sorry. With F1, I want to keep it brief because even though it was interesting, but I'm just very conscious that we've gone on for a very long time. So let's try to keep it short. What did you think of it, by the way? What did you think of the race? Did you like it?
I did. I missed the start.
Missed the mash, bro.
Mishmashed. Yeah. I missed the start because whatever I was doing, but I saw it from about lap 15 on, so I missed Leclerc's and who else had a pit stop initially? Was it Antonelli? No, someone. Leclerc definitely had a pit stop and someone else, but I can't remember who it was.
It was Leclerc, and I think Russell was in front of him as well. And
was it? Yeah, because when I looked, they were like way down 15th and wherever it was, and Hamilton was 7th or something at the time. So there was obviously the controversy with regards to the yellow flags. I mean, what the fuck, really? I mean, it wasn't even on a bend on a high-speed corner. Both the yellow flags and safety car was, especially the last one. For fuck's sake. Did you know why they stopped it?
It was. I mean, it was.
Stop Hamilton catching them up because he was going to obviously catch Albon up, wasn't he? Was it Albon?
It was Albon, yeah. Honestly, I think the race was like overall was pretty decent to watch, but I feel like after that first lap, it was just kind of over. Did you feel like it was just over because of obviously, what he does? Yeah. And it could have definitely gone differently. And obviously with Piastri, unfortunately, he had a couple of slower stops. So that did not help at all. And obviously that just Verstappen just went, and then obviously Norris took second. But I was quite disappointed for Piastri, to be honest. I thought, it's like, well, you were doing so well, and then all of a sudden you just sort of like taking a bit of a dip. Considering
Do you think
Norris
it was the?
Him, so
Yeah, I think in the first corner, I think obviously because Max was so aggressive, I think if Piastri was, I think he caught him by surprise. Personally, I think it was a fucking amazing overtake.
Great move.
It's because he was aggressive, and if Piastri had been a bit more like sort of crafty, and have a Verstappen would have probably have to hold back, and he maybe wouldn't have got ahead of him, and that's the race there. And then wasn't that first corner? I thought
absolutely. I think the balls that Max just sent it from on the outside was just incredible. And the thing is that's why we've said we can't really dislike him because he is such a great driver. In terms of pure racing, he is the guy. He's
the closest to Michael, isn't he?
Yeah, he breathes that shit.
Had.
He breathes it. So and it was nice to see that. Obviously, McLaren's didn't win again, but 2-3 for McLaren. They can't really be mad at that, to be honest. And there was no dramas. Just unfortunately with Piastri, his pit stops just let him down a little bit. But
what's the situation? I didn't look at the standings at the end of it. So is Piastri still top?
Piastri is still top with Verstappen second, but I will confirm, my friend. Give me 1 second, please.
Yeah, because I think it's more interesting the fact that if there's 3 drivers as opposed to just 2 and then 1 breaking away. I always think it's a lot more exciting, isn't it? The fact if there's more than one, absolutely. One just fucking driving away with it.
I mean, right now it's Piastri first, Norris second, and Verstappen third. And it's
gap?
About 19 points separating Piastri and Verstappen, obviously with Norris in there, and then Russell's on 99 points, so about 20 points.
It's great.
Yeah. So
I still think Russell might. I mean, I know he's not a championship contender, but I still think he's potentially, because he always challenges and qualifies quite high, doesn't he? So,
yeah.
You never know.
I think he'll have a good chance, to be honest, to sort of be up there. And if the next race he gets good points, like ends up on the podium or whatever, then yeah, absolutely, you can't discount him, because mistakes happen throughout the season. It is a long season, and fatigue.
We're only on 7th, I think, at the 7th race, is it?
Exactly. Yeah. So, a lot of things can happen. But after that, Charles and Lewis, Charles on 61, Lewis on 53. So they're about 30 points behind Russell. So, they need to really fucking pull this shit together. Ferrari need to pull this shit together. I mean, today, their strategy worked quite nicely.
Very lucky.
Yeah,
got lucky today.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, there was, I don't know what was going on with the Sky coverage, because I didn't see Leclerc overtaking Stroll and Alonso, like when he came out of the pits. I didn't even see him go in the pits until he was coming out. Like I was watching.
I thought that.
So that was a bit
they
weird.
They were all over, weren't they?
Yeah, and I didn't understand. Like why wasn't Crofty commentating? Like I don't understand. Where was he?
There was no Brundle either, was there?
No, there was no Brundle. It was fucking Harry and Alex Jakes or some shit, or Anthony Davidson or whatever. I do actually like Anthony. He's pretty good. So yeah, I think there is still a lot of the season to go yet, and especially for the top 3, it could be very, very, very close. And that is just excellent stuff, because the last time we had that, I think it was Oh, sorry, the last time, not the very last time, but like one of the times I remember that being very good was between Montoya, Barrichello, and Michael Schumacher. You know what I mean? The Williams back then, the BMW Williams. So that was a very good fight with three drivers. Hopefully could be more, but yeah, there has to be a point where the cutoff is like, yeah, that's a bit too much. So, and I think Ferrari. I don't think Ferrari gonna.
No, I mean, to be fair, it looked like they'd found a bit of pace, didn't it? They were overtaken. Obviously, I think Leclerc got past Antonelli in a Mercedes. I know he's a young kid.
Both of them did they?
Yeah. So they looked like there was like sprouts of hope, should I say, with the fact of this pace. But I suppose when the McLarens are in the slipstream, you can't defend it, can you? They'll pass you, so easily. It must be quite disheartening for Lewis. But I know he's been there and he's done that. He's won it 6 or 7 times.
Seven times. Yeah.
Pardon. And excuse me.
So he's won it 7 times. He's won it 7 times.
Yeah, so it's kind of must be a bit disheartening. I'd be the same. It's like, I suppose it's like a football not being as like a bit like De Bruyne kind of thing, where you're a great player, you win everything, and then you're getting a bit older, so you decline in your quality. It must be hard for him to not be challenging up the front all the time. But I suppose everything's cyclical again, and I'm going to revert back to Mercer's analysis and what I've been saying a long time, that everything's about timing, isn't it? Especially with Arsenal at the moment. Their time might have been, and it's cyclical and it's going round, and then it could be Man United, or hopefully not, but it could be Chelsea in next season, and it could be Newcastle or Villa. Everything's cyclical. It's the same with Verstappen's won it 4 years in a row. Now it's McLaren's turn.
It is cyclical, but I think we're waiting since 2007 for a Ferrari championship. And that's a long time. That is a long time. I know obviously McLaren went a little bit longer, but that is still a long time
it's too long
for a historical team. Yeah, that's too long. So they brought in the drivers, but I feel like the bureaucracy behind Ferrari is too much for everyone. Do you know what I mean? That there's too much control for no reason. We are Ferrari. It's like, we haven't won shit in 18 years, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, like I said, still plenty of the season to go yet, and they could still definitely turn it around, bring the right upgrades. They've got Monaco coming up, and that's on.
What's next, Monaco?
Monaco's next this weekend coming. So
no overtaking, so it's pretty
qualifying.
Shit, really,
it's going to be qualifying decides it, and unfortunately for Ferrari, they have not been anywhere during qualifying. I think what did it this time round was the new soft that they introduced. It was like the C6 or something like that. They introduced a very new soft tyre, and again, everyone kind of struggled, but Ferrari struggled the most. And I think maybe Alonso, Aston Martin, I think they ended up 5th because they set a lap time in mediums rather than the usual.
Didn't Albon wasn't he on provisional pole for a bit? And was it Albon? I can't remember. Someone was on provisional pole from nowhere and in Q2 or the end of Q2. I can't remember. When I thought, fucking hell. And then we'd obviously, well, not saying we, but Hamilton and Leclerc got fucking knocked out in Q3. It's just
well, that's the thing. I mean, that's I think that's what contributed to Ferrari not doing well during qualifying. I think they just couldn't get that tyre or I think it was a case of they couldn't get it. It was overheating, so they couldn't get it to the right temperature. But hopefully, in terms of strategy though, and obviously a bit of luck today, they ended up in good point positions. I don't think they were going to do any more than that, to be honest, even if given a few more laps. So and this. Obviously, Leclerc.
I wouldn't have. I don't even think they would have. Even if they'd have finished like, I don't know, probably what would it be, 4th and 5th, say, on the grid. Yeah. They still wouldn't have won it. They still wouldn't have probably finished any different. No. Looking at it, would they? To be fair,
I don't think so. I don't think. They haven't shown any signs of, sort of that top fight right now. There's still plenty of the season to go, and I'm hoping that they're going to sort it out rather than just give up and be like, oh, we'll concentrate on next season. It's like, dude, there's 24 races. How are you giving up 7 races in? There's so much to play for. So just get your shit together and just get it out there. But like I said, I don't really want to talk too much about the F1 because it's literally coming up to an hour and a half, and I will have to get this out and edit it. Yeah. So we will leave it there, Stevie, unless obviously something else you want to add from the race.
I think like I say, I did enjoy it today. I think because there was a few overtakes and Ferrari got a bit lucky, so it's nice to see them getting back again to closer to the top, even though they were like 30 odd seconds behind or something in the end. But no, there's nothing really to add really. I think we were just looking forward to some improvements in the next race, whether that's top 3, top 4 on the grid, or just a podium. You know what I mean? I think that's all we can kind of vote for.
Yeah, I think podium is probably the next step for Ferrari rather than go for straight out win. Unless Leclerc pulls something out of the bag in Monaco and he's first, and then that's he wins it.
He does quite well at Monaco, doesn't he?
Qualifying,
I know he's from there. Yeah.
Qualifying he does well, and then races he's usually like crashing out or whatever. But last season, he did win. He had that 2 seasons ago. I don't know if you remember the whole thing with the box, and then he goes in and they go stay out. It's like, are you kidding? Like, you brought me.
He wasn't very happy today, was he? I think.
No, he wasn't happy today. No, I think it was at the end something to do when they switched. Hamilton and himself. It was like, because I don't drive well, you swap me and all this stuff. I think drama's it's inevitable because, like I said, they will have to respect Ferrari. I mean, they will have to respect the 7-time world champion. And unfortunately, whatever Lewis wants, Lewis will get over Charles. And that's just life, really. But unfortunately for Charles,
I think it makes it more competitive.
I hope so. I really hope
Charles
so.
Wants to prove a point. I think that's what it is, isn't it? It's like, he's a 7-time world champion coming into me, but I'm the number 1, and it's like makes him try harder, I think, and now it's going to push Hamilton on even more.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
I really hope so. Yeah, I want to see some good racing from both of them, to be honest. And it's just. It's not going to be this season, but hopefully next season Ferrari will actually challenge for a title. But anyways, right, we will leave it there. Thank you so much for being here, for listening. I know it's been a very long one, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments, hit the likes, subscribes, all that kind of nice stuff. And it's good night from me. Stay safe, stay alert.
Au revoir. See.